Have you ever felt paralyzed by the fear of not being good enough? If so, you're not alone. Perfectionism, while it can often be seen as a positive trait, it is actually a significant barrier to your success. There is even a perfectionist type of imposter syndrome called the natural genius perfectionist imposter syndrome. How many people have heard of that one? Drop it in the comments. Drop a one in the comments if you've heard of that. The natural genius perfectionist thinks that she should be extraordinarily successful the first time she attempts every project, every task, every job, etc. And when she's not, then there must be something wrong with me. I'm a fraud. I don't deserve to be here. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that once you figure it out, it could be a huge game changer, right? For many of us, those of us who were perfectionists. I'm Dr. Twanna, and I am a career coach for mid and senior career Black women. And if you've ever felt like your quest for perfection is holding you back, then you're in exactly the right place. In this video, I'll be breaking down perfectionism, why it kills success, and what you can do to break free from this grip. Right. So really, let's start by addressing it head on. And if you have questions and if you have comments, you are more than welcome to leave those here. I want to open it up to questions, especially for anyone out there who is, perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist, right? I'll put it like that. I think that's maybe the best way to put it, right? So let's start by addressing the problem just head on. Perfectionists often find themselves stuck and unable to move forward because they're waiting for every single little thing to be just right, to be perfect. And this constant need for perfection can actually freeze progress and make it nearly impossible to achieve your professional goals or personal goals. It's like, a hamster, it's like being on a hamster wheel, always running around, but never quite getting anywhere because you can't seem to get anything done. Now, ideally, we should be focusing on making progress rather than achieving perfection. And here's the thing, the best results come from taking action, learning along the way, and making improvements based on what we've learned. Success isn't about being flawless, it's about moving forward, adapting, and growing from our experiences. Perfectionism isn't just about wanting things to be absolutely flawlessly perfect. It can also trigger just a huge range of deeper issues. When you're constantly aiming for perfection, it often leads to self doubt. Okay, we're talking about the 5 key reasons why perfectionism kills, like it just kills success. And so one of those is self doubt, right? It kills success. And also a lack of confidence, right? So it not only leads to self doubt, but it leads to a lack of self confidence. Now, for me, it also meant that I would go into overdrive to compensate for that feeling of self doubt, doubting and questioning myself, and for my lack of confidence. I tried to, you know, compensate by going into overdrive to do everything perfect and do more and do it perfect, right? And it did not make up for a lack of confidence. Let me just say that much. And in hindsight, I literally made my direct reports miserable because you get to a space where nothing is right, nothing is ever enough, and people don't want to work for you because you're always driving them and pushing them because you don't know what a standard is because it's perfect, and you don't know what a standard is, and then they don't either, right? So you really do start to question your abilities, wondering if you're good enough, or you feel like an imposter. In spite of your success, you just can't own your success. And when you get caught up in this cycle of self criticism, which is the third key reason why, you know, perfectionism kills success, is you get caught up in a cycle of self criticism. And the pressure, to meet these unattainable standards can be incredibly damaging to you. You know, it does keep you from celebrating your achievements, right? It also prevents you from fully embracing your potential because you're so caught up in self criticism and I'm dumb and I can't do this right. I can't ever get it right. And what's wrong with me? Everybody's going to find out I don't know what I'm talking about. You never get a chance to embrace your potential because you're so busy downing yourself, right? And then instead of feeling proud about your progress, you're stuck in this constant loop of never feeling good enough. Why can't I be good enough? Why is everyone else so much better than me? And in turn, it causes you to actually undermine your own mental health, right? And so that's the fourth key reason that perfectionism kills success is it undermines your overall mental health as well as it undermines your career growth, right? So, and it's just a total drag on your mental health. It's total drag. Oftentimes, my clients have said they found they just feel fatigued, like they run a race all the time, but they're never getting anywhere. They're not getting to the point, or they're not feeling successful because they're always spinning like I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I don't do this enough. Or if I work hard, if I work more, if I do this, and if I do this, if I do this, and it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. You can do more, but it doesn't work. Okay. So, and here's the other thing, it actually costs you money as well. So let's talk about the financial impact of perfectionism. Perfectionism can be a huge money drain, whether it's missing deadlines or spending excessive amount of times obsessing over perfecting a project or a task, or procrastination, right? Because once you get to the point where everything's got to be perfect and you feel like a failure when it's not. So what do? You start to avoid. It increases your anxiety, and then you start to avoid, and that's where the procrastination creeps in. And then you start avoiding tasks altogether because, well, they're never good enough. You can't perfect, you can't get it right. And these behaviors can lead to lost opportunities and money, right? So in a career context, it means you're going to be missing out on promotions or new roles because you're so caught up on that hamster wheel of trying to make everything perfect, and you don't actually seize the opportunities that come your way. And you actually look around and realize one day that all of your peers have been promoted. They've moved on. And then you feel like you've been left behind, right? And then, especially since oftentimes you are more talented and more experienced, but you still feel left behind because you were so wrapped up and wasted so much energy trying to be perfect. So what's the solution? Well, it does start by accepting that perfection is an impossible standard. Instead of perfectionism, focus on progress and continuous improvement. And one way to do this is by signing up for a career solution consultation with me. During this consultation, we'll work together to identify your unique strengths as well as set achievable goals and develop a plan to overcome the barriers that perfectionism has placed in your path. And by addressing perfectionism and shifting your mindset, you'll actually be able to move forward more confidently and effectively. And most importantly, you'll stop wasting time and energy procrastinating on unattainable standards and start focusing on what really matters, making progress and achieving your goals. And this not only helps you in your career, but it also improves your overall well being because with the clear path and actionable steps, you'll find yourself way more productive and less stressed and less procrastination. And you're better positioned to take advantage of new opportunities that come your way. right? So let's talk about this because I've seen this transformation happen with many of my clients. And so we'll take, for example, one particular client that was stuck in this loop of trying to perfect every detail of her job applications, which when she couldn't, it led to missed opportunities and increased her anxiety. She was actually well qualified to the job she was thinking about applying to, but the mindset, that vicious cycle that led to this mindset, she would spend countless hours editing her resume and then re-editing and editing and re-editing and re-editing the cover letter, only to become completely overwhelmed and anxious. And as a result, she missed the deadlines. And she never even submitted the applications. And these were jobs that she qualified for. She never turned in the application. And this happened over and over. Right. So here's how I helped her break out of this vicious cycle. So, number one, we started with challenging the perfectionist beliefs. You know, through our coaching sessions, we worked to challenge her perfectionist beliefs like, what is it? What do you want to be perfect at? And, if you're not perfect, what's the next best thing? What's going to get you in the ballpark? We also explored the unrealistic expectations she had set for herself. And she'd done it for herself. No one else set them for her. She did this to herself, right? It's kind of like self-sabotaging. And we discussed the negative impact that these beliefs were having on her career. Now, by questioning her assumptions, she began to realize that good enough was often good enough. It was good enough, right? The second thing we did was we worked on developing a growth mindset. We also focused on cultivating that growth mindset. So instead of viewing mistakes as failures and everyone's going to look at me and think I'm a failure and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not good enough, we reframe those as opportunities for learning and growth. What I love to coach, and many of my clients will attest to this, is what I like to say is you can either win or learn, not win or lose. It's you either win from it or you learn from it. Those are your two choices. And when you shift your mindset to start looking at it that way, everything is a win or learn. You're going to come out better on the other side, whichever one you choose. And so this particular shift in her perspective helped her to become more resilient and less afraid of taking risks. And then number three, we implemented time manager strategies because it's a huge thing when you're being when you're indulging in that perfectionism. Time management is like out the door, right? And so to address her procrastination, we actually implemented time management strategies. We set specific deadlines for completing tasks. And we also broke the larger tasks. We chunked those down into smaller, more manageable steps. And this really helped her stay organized and focused, which reduced her overwhelm, which was what was leading to her perfectionism in the first place, right? And then also it ended up, the benefit was it dropped her anxiety, right? Because perfectionism and anxiety are often hand in hand. And then number four, so as a result of these interventions, my client was able to overcome her perfectionism and successfully land that dream job. That was the perfect job for her. Not a perfect job, but perfect for her. She learned to embrace perfection and celebrate her accomplishment. And she learned to trust in her own abilities. And so this transformation is just a huge testament to the power of coaching and helping individuals break free from self-limiting beliefs and sabotage, right? So they can achieve their full potential. And so some final thoughts is perfectionism, again, it may seem like a protective measure, but it's actually a major barrier to your success and your happiness. By recognizing it, right, you're able to take that crucial step. And it's important for you to be able to do that. Take that crucial step, right? And that way you're actually addressing it. You are moving towards, again, it's about progress. You're moving towards a more fulfilling career and a balanced life. And remember, it's about progress, not perfection, right? And sometimes I know for me, if you stand at the bottom of steps, and some people like, oh, I like to look at all the steps. For some folks, we gotta like, I gotta look at the steps to get them all perfect. No, you look at that first step, because let's just chunk it down from the whole steps, the whole staircase to the first step. You just gotta make progress on that first step before you get to the next one. And so on and so on and so on. So, because you're still here watching this video, that means that something here really resonated with you today. You're tired of struggling with perfectionism and procrastination. Know that you're not alone here and that I can actually help. Coaching can provide valuable tools and support to help you overcome this obstacle and achieve your goals. So, I encourage you to take that first step and explore how coaching can benefit you, and go ahead and sign up for a free 30-minute career solution consultation. The link is in the comments and it's also up on the screen as well, right? And it's in the description too. Together, we will create a personalized plan that helps you focus on truly what matters and is not procrastination. And this way, you can achieve your professional goals as well as your personal goals. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Thanks for all of you who joined me live, and thank you for all of you who are watching the replay. I'll see you in the next video.